Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're talking about something almost everyone can relate to, waiting for change. We've all experienced that moment when we just knew it was time for something different. Maybe you knew exactly what you wanted, or maybe, like me, you felt it in your gut without knowing the specific. For me, I wasn't super clear on the what, but I knew without a doubt that something had to shift. At the end of 2017, I turned my life completely upside down. I moved across the country, I got married in my 40s, and became an entrepreneur. Today, I'm living what I call my dream life. It's aligned with my values, I'm closer to nature, and I've slowed down, and I've created space for what truly matters. But let me tell you, as exciting as it sounds, change is not easy. It's messy, it's uncomfortable, and it's downright hard sometimes. Still, it's through all those challenges that we grow. In my own journey, I've learned 3 lessons about change that I want to share with you. These lessons have shaped how I navigate transitions, both big and small. The first one, celebrate doing something new. Let's talk about celebrating change. Sometimes change looks like planning a cross-country move or switching careers. Other times, it's something as small as taking a different route to work or trying a new coffee order. Here's the thing, the size of the change doesn't matter. What matters is the courage to take steps into something new. I've noticed that every time I make even the tiniest shift in my routine, I feel a little braver, a little more confident. It's like flexing a muscle. The more you do it, the stronger you become. And that courage, it fuels bigger transformation. So here's my challenge for you. Celebrate every single change you make, no matter how small. Why? Because when you celebrate, you're telling yourself, I see you. I acknowledge your effort. I'm proud of you. That acknowledgement creates momentum. Here's a few ways to make celebrating fun and meaningful. Create a celebration list. Write down simple ways to mark your wins. It could be anything from treating yourself to your favorite dessert to taking a moment to breathe deeply and say, I did it. Give yourself high fives. Seriously, try it. Stand in front of the mirror. Give yourself a high five and say, good job. It might feel silly at first, but it works. Share your wins. Find a friend or loved one to share your changes with. Ask them for their support and let them cheer you on. Dance it out. Put your favorite song on and just let loose. Dancing is such a great way to release your stress and celebrate yourself. Every time you celebrate, you're reinforcing a mindset of positivity and possibility. You're building the confidence to take on even bigger challenges. Now, here's the second lesson. Let's get real for a moment. Change is hard. It can be messy, uncomfortable, and brings about our deepest insecurities. If you're anything like me, your toughest critic isn't out there, it's the voice in here. The inner critic can be relentless, especially during transition. It loves to amplify your self-doubt and second-guess every move. And believe me, I've been there. I've had to work really hard to learn how to give myself grace during these moments. But here's what I've discovered. You don't have to let that voice win. You can meet it with compassion and gratitude instead of criticism. It takes practice, but it's worth it. Let me share a few things that have worked for me when I'm in the thick of change and my inner critic starts to get loud. Speak to yourself like you would a closest friend. Imagine your best friend is going through some tough time. Would you criticize them or would you encourage them? Now take the same kindness and direct it towards yourself. You could write a letter of encouragement to yourself. This one's a game changer. Grab a pen and a paper and write it as if you were your own cheerleader. Remind yourself of your strengths, your progress, and how far you've come. Sometimes saying these words on paper is exactly what you need to quiet the inner critic. Then have a conversation with your inner critic. This one might sound a little odd, but it works. When that critical voice pops up, talk back to it. Ask it to leave, and better yet, thank it for its input and then politely say, I've got this. I know it sounds silly, but you can really shift your mindset. Create a mantra or phrase that reminds you to give yourself grace. Write it down, say it out loud, repeat it often. My favorite is, I'm doing the best I can, and that's enough. Find one that resonates with you. Another tip that's been a lifesaver for me, keep a gratitude journal. Every day, I jot down at least 3 things I'm grateful for. They don't have to be big. Sometimes it's as simple as a good cup of coffee or a kind word from a friend. And when I'm feeling stuck or doubting myself, I go back and I read those entries. They're a good reminder of all the good things in my life and how far I've come. And here's the truth. Giving yourself grace doesn't mean you're excusing mistakes or ignoring challenges. It means you're choosing to be kind to yourself. Even when things feel hard, it's about recognizing that you're human, and that's okay. So lesson 3, self-care is not negotiable. You've probably heard it called a buzzword, but let me tell you, it's just not a trend. When you're navigating change, self-care isn't optional, it's a must. For me, self-care can be as simple as taking a hot bath, turning my phone on silent for the evening, or curling up with a feel-good 90s rom-com. Sometimes it's not about doing anything extravagant. It's as simple as planting my feet on the ground, taking a deep breath, and grounding myself in the present moment. Self-care is personal. What works for me may not work for you, and that's okay. Now take a few moments to write down what feels nurturing and restorative. Is it hot baths? Is it journaling? Is it baking cookies? Whatever brings you peace, write it down. And here's the trick. Don't leave self-care to chance. Put it on your calendar like it's a meeting or an appointment. Think of it as a date with yourself, one that you actually can't cancel. Every time you make time for yourself, acknowledge it. It's not selfish, it's essential. Sometimes I put on my favorite playlists and have a dance party and just say I did it. And here's the most important thing to remember. Self-care doesn't have to be elaborate or time-consuming. Whether it's 5 minutes or 5 hours, give yourself permission to pause and recharge. Self-care isn't selfish. It's the foundation that allows you to show up for yourself, for your loved ones, and for changes you're navigating. Thank you for being here and taking the time to care for you. And here's the truth about change. It's not easy, but it's totally worth it. Every step you take, whether it's a small shift or a massive leap, it helps you grow into the person you're meant to be. If you're waiting for a change, know this: you're capable, you're courageous, you're ready. So let me know in the comments, what change are you ready to go for? Big or small? I'd love to cheer you on. And if this message resonated, hit the like button, share the video with someone who might need it, and don't forget to subscribe for more inspiration. Thank you for being here and being part of the community. Until next time, remember, every small step counts, and you've got this.